Welcome to Grow Getters with host Davis Michaelsen, who's looking for and discovering agriculture's most inventive side hustles. We'll meet resourceful and innovative entrepreneurs who share how they make extra money moonlighting to keep their farms and families going strong. From starting new businesses to tapping into new technologies, these Grow Getters are redefining what it means to be a farmer.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to Grow Getters. My name is Davis. This is Grow Getters, and we're talking to farmers and farm people who've got a little something going on the side. I got a little something delicious on the side of me here. In fact, I need to wash this down so we can continue our conversation. You know, the waiter came and said, red or white? I said, white. White with pasta. That sounds good. My guests today represent three sisters. In fact, I've got them all three here. From Grand Forks, North Dakota. Do they ever have something grand to put on our forks, huh? All three sisters left the farm for college, but all three have since returned to support the family farm, their family motto, and I like this a lot. Failure isn't fatal. With that, let me bring in Mollie, Grace, and Annie from Three Farm Daughters and Sproule Farms. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's great to talk to you girls and to you ladies, pardon me. And I want to start kind of at the beginning. I don't know who wants to be the spokesperson here. I'd love to hear from each of you at some point here. Talk to me about your farm. What do you got going on over there? What's life like up there farming near Grand Forks?
I'll kick it off because I'm the oldest. So our farm is a first generation farm that was started by my parents, Paul and Susie. And then we also have a cousin who is a partner in the farm who's very hands-on and a huge part of the organization. His name is Michael. And so we're located right on the North Dakota and Minnesota border in a part called the Red River Valley. We can grow a bunch of different kind of crops just due to our soils and the climates that we have. So we've grown everything from corn and soybeans to edible beans, wheat, oats, sugar beets, potatoes, lots of different things. So
yeah. Sounds to me like farm girls through and through. Your farm cred checks out here. What was your life like when you were little? Were you involved in what was going on out there? Were you sort of, what were your roles then as young girls?
I think, anyone who has a little bit of farm in their background or their family realizes that from a quick age that you don't really have a choice but to be involved. We had a lot, being young kids, we did a lot of, we're in the car with field tours or doing dinner in the field, things like that. And so it really just started at a young age. But as we continued to grow up, being on the farm, whether that be as a parts runner or working in the office here and just kind of helping out and doing what we can has always kind of been what we've done on the farm.
Yeah. A great way to grow up, if you ask me, but I'm a little bit biased. I come from a family, I have two brothers, so I'm from a family of three boys. Kind of crazy. Some of our viewers might not know, and I'm kind of a little bit unsure myself, I'm afraid to admit. I don't know if you can help kind of talk to us about the specific variety of wheat that you grow for the pasta. There are a couple of different kinds of wheat. I don't know if consumers really need to have all that in their head, but can you just sort of run us through it a little bit, please?
Yeah, so we've been growing wheat on our farm since, honestly, I remember my entire life. I don't know if you guys remember different, but about 7 or 8 years ago, we started growing a variety that was naturally high in fiber. And what it is, it's a resistant starch variety. So without getting too sciencey into it, there's two types of starches in wheat, amylose and amylopectin, traditional wheat being 70% of one and 30% of the other. And the variety that we're growing is actually the inverse of that. So because of that, it's a resistant starch grain. But yeah, it's just a wheat like you would see in any other flour. So taste, texture, performs like regular flour or grain would, but has significantly better nutritional values.
Wow. Yeah. And it definitely does taste really, really good. And there's a special way, I think that I read that you cut it. We can get into that later. But that helps it hold on to that flavor, doesn't it? It's really interesting that way.
Yeah.
Now, all three of you, I'm fascinated by this story here. The three of you all took off after high school and went to college. And then after that decided, hey, guess what? Life's better back on the farm. I'm going back to the farm, and you wound up there. Whoever wants to answer here, I'm fascinated by that tipping point. You know, one day you're thinking, la, 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 I just graduated college. I'm going to move to Miami or Barbados or Flint. I don't know. And all three of you were drawn back to the family farm. Talk to me about that.
Who wants
to begin?
Okay. Who's it? I think as a natural progression, you know, you're 18 years old, you want to go see what the world has to offer. We all kind of had our own paths and went our own ways, but we always say internally that the farm really tugs at your heartstrings, and, you know, it's a family operation, and it's been part of our life, our entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And so in our own paths, and after, you know, going out and doing our own career paths a little here and there, timing, just, we all slowly started to trickle back. And I think to us, a lot of it too has just been family so important to us, and being close to our family, wanting to raise our kids together, having their grandparents nearby was a big part of it. And it just all kind of led to a road back to the farm.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think the big thing too is the community. You know, we all left and we went to a large city, and that's where we went to college. And then I think you realize, like, hey, you know, the North Dakota winters are kind of rough, but I kind of like the fact that it takes me 10 minutes to get from one side of town to the next side of town. And, you know, your mindset just changed a little bit. So it's the community aspect, and the smaller towns also. I thought that was a huge draw for us.
For sure. Yeah, that's really good. Now, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Just say so if you don't want to answer this question. But I did notice that the three of you all went to a faith-based college. My mother-in-law actually went to the same spot. She loved it. I almost went there for a while. I'm curious if not necessarily your education, but your faith has guided your decision-making process. How clearly it's a big part of your lives if you went to a faith-based college. I'm curious how that manifests in your business. Does it?
I think it really for sure does. And we've done not a lot of interviews, but many. Yeah. And this is a question we've never gotten before.
Yeah.
So I almost am like, obviously faith is a huge part of who we are, and like the foundation of our core belief systems. And I think one of the big things is, because it is our core belief system, that has been what's translated into the foundation of Three Farm Daughters, right? So when we founded the company, we founded on the idea of clean, real, simple ingredients. And we wanted that to be very honest and transparent, and have a connection to the consumer. And so I think that is a big, maybe, reason or draw of how our faith has been integrated, is because, we are a clean community, and the three of us have created a harmonious trio in each of the gifts that we've been given, and exercise those really well in the business. And obviously, like, when you get up every day and you are in a startup CPG, you have challenges, and being able to deal with anything that comes up and arises in a way that's honoring is part of the gift.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Thank you for talking about that. We'll get to the delicious pasta here in just a moment. We're almost there now. But Sproule Farms, am I saying that right? Sproule Farms has actually a lot of irons in the fire. I was picking through your website just a little bit. Your farm has been used in some commercials. Is that right? Did I read that right? Anything that I would know, maybe?
I don't know.
I think like a battery commercial.
Garage door commercials.
Yeah.
They're really like our stop.
Our dad just keeps the offer open on the table. He's like, if anyone needs to use a farm for a commercial, our farm's available.
Well, are there other things that you do? I mean, people are doing like barn weddings now, and some people have like a winery out in the back 40. I mean, I know you've got enough on your plate as it is, but is that about it?
We haven't gone to that level yet. I think the extent of where we've really extended the farm is backyard chickens and egg deliveries, but no, we haven't gone to the wedding venue yet. So
okay, all right. Do you see that maybe as a potential in your future? Have you got a spot for it?
Like you said, we have a lot of irons in the fire. And I don't know if
Too
a
soon.
wedding venue is the next one.
Too soon. I'll talk to you about this again in the future. We'll get it all.
Okay.
We'll get it all lined up. You all were good enough to send me a couple of boxes of this absolutely delicious pasta. And I do definitely want to come to that here. But first, I'd like to offer up my guests a little bit of an ode, a musical selection. And so in exchange for your time and sharing your story with us, I thought I would offer a musical ode to Three Farm Daughters. Are you ready?
Perfect. Ready. Can't wait.
1, 2, 3 farm daughters today. The waving wheat from way up north that leads the way. 3 farm daughters, the North Dakota pasta queens. Healthier pasta to aid your gut. It's even got a low glycemic index response. 3 farm daughters on the Go-Getter Show. I never thought that I would ever sing a song that included the words low glycemic index response. Who wants to volunteer and tell me what that is?
Before we even go there, we want to know if we can use that in our Three Farm Daughters commercial.
You know, I don't. At first blush, it probably sounds better than it really is. But sure, why not? Why not? I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, thank you. It was awesome. I'll let Grace take it back on our low GI.
So
Yeah.
low GI was a verification we sought after once we had actually first heard about this response from our consumers. So being connected to them has been immensely helpful in learning about why they choose it over a competitor every time. And the reason this has been so interesting is because it is prebiotic. It all makes sense when you think through this, right? So when you're eating our pasta, it resists digestion in your small intestine and is passed to the large intestine, which is why it's a prebiotic fiber. And this is helping create that low GI response. And so generally pasta is one of those foods that a diabetic or a pre-diabetic aren't able to enjoy fully because it's going to be one food that's going to raise their blood sugar. So we had some diabetics that were in our emails like, hey, girls, this is so awesome. I don't know if you are aware of this, but when I eat your pasta, my blood sugar is not spiking. Like, I love to see that on my numbers. Like, wish you all the best. Like, sign here. And we're like, this is interesting. We should look into this. And of course, this makes sense because of the fiber content. But being able to offer that type of, an alternative to someone who hasn't been able to eat their favorite types of foods, like a big bowl of pasta, is super rewarding for us. And so that's when we actually went on further to get the low GI verification.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, go on.
We took, the feedback people were giving us and actually sent it in to do a clinical study. And it came back to have the low rating, which is, rare and abnormal for traditional pasta.
So wait a second. You didn't start off thinking, what could we do to make the ultimate pasta? Well, it's got to have prebiotic. For that to have been a byproduct of you just basically, as I understand it, trying to just make simple, healthy food products. And here, turns out, sure enough, simple, healthy food is good for you. Who knew, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think a big part of it too is listening to our consumers and seeing what they want and what they value in the product, and then taking that back is what has been really helpful to us as we market our products.
Yeah.
The big thing that when we started the company was we wanted the nutrition to be coming straight from the field. We didn't want it to be because of XYZ additives that have given us those claims. So to be able to say that we just have this natural high fiber wheat flour that is creating this type of gut benefit is really where we're trailblazing the most.
Yeah. Well, it says right here on the box, this is a new word that I learned, by the way. Cavatappi. Am I saying that right? Or is it cavatappi? Yeah. I was thinking it might be cavatappi. No?
I like that version. It's cavatappi. So yeah, that one is all of our favorites too.
Is it really? This is just, I figured Panny, I'm pretty familiar with that. I got elbows here. What's the other one that I got? Oh, rotini. Yeah. Everybody loves rotini. Rotini brings the party everywhere it goes. But cavatappi here really caught my attention here. Talk to me about the road from we don't have pasta to sell to we're starting to see our pasta in stores around the local area. What were some of those first stores like?
It was a very windy and bumpy road. When we started with pasta, you know, we started it just on a very small scale, making it in very small batches, and honestly selling it to our local retailers. We launched it on our website originally, and then just started knocking on local retailer doors. I think by the time we swapped over, you know, our business model from self-delivery to working with distributors and finding assistance in the delivery method, we were up to like 38 stores, and we had ourselves doing it in the back door deliveries, our husbands, our dad would help. We occasionally would have a farm guy help us every once in a while. But yeah, it really just how we found ourselves in the back of grocery stores, in the stock room was not where we really thought we would find ourselves. But it was a great way to get there. So.
Well, you were, I mean, in the old days, they used to talk about pounding the pavement. Get out there and pound the pavement. That's exactly what you guys did. And then one day, the phone rings and it's Whole Foods. Tell me about that.
So we actually got an email inquiry, and together we were like, do you guys think this is spam? Do you think this is real? Because I mean, from the beginning, we just couldn't really believe it, to be honest. And at that point, we were changing from our original logo and packaging and making changes into a box and adding the farm pink that you see on the boxes now. We were kind of just adding a whole new brand and an experience for our consumers at this time. And so we took the meeting, and it was real. We got to meet with Whole Foods and took off from there.
Yeah.
Are there other retailers that carry your product as well? Can we get a little list? Actually, you know what? Better than that. How can we find you online? Somebody give me the web address, please. I can't remember it.
So it's 3farmdaughters.com. And then if you are looking for a store locator, we have that on the website as well. And you just type in your zip code, and it'll populate for you which stores are around you.
Well, there you go. Okay. So we talked about the cavatelli lepi. We got the rotini. We've got the penne, and just one more, the elbows. Make me a little mac and cheese with this for my barbecue this weekend. All delicious. I want to talk to you really quick about how you cut it, because the production has direct impacts on how the food maintains its deliciosity. Talk to me about that, please.
Yeah. So when we made our product, we not only wanted it to be, you know, from the farm and healthy and delicious, but we wanted it to be a premium product. You know, we're using better for you premium grains. Like, it only made sense that the end product was a premium product as well. So there's in pasta making, there's about two main ways people use it or make pasta. Essentially, when it's extruded through the press, it will either go through a Teflon die or a bronze die. Bronze is the traditional way of making pasta. So the die block is what it gets extruded through. But because of that bronze, it gives the pasta a really coarse texture, and it really gives it a porous texture. And so when you use it for sauces and things like that, it really, it soaks up the sauce, gives it a good texture to cling to. So when you pick up your pasta, you know, it doesn't all just fall off. It really just adheres and holds to the pasta well as gives you that nice bite that you really seek when you go to eat pasta.
Yeah, absolutely. And in addition to all of these selections, you've also just started making spaghetti, right? We can get spaghetti noodles as well.
I don't have one around me, but we do. We just launched our first long cut. It's online exclusive right now, so you can't find that one to retailers yet.
You can order it.
But you can order it online, and it's quickly becoming one of our best sellers. So
okay. Before that, what was your best seller?
It's a tie between,
hands down, how do you say it? How did you say it?
The cavatelli. Yes, the cavatelli. It's delicious. I can confirm. So now you got the spaghetti out there into the world. I guess as we're getting ready to wrap up here just a little bit, what's next for the three sisters, the three farm daughters?
Next is we're just going to keep doing, you know, what we know and what we love. We're continuing to grow our company, but also look at, you know, when we positioned our company and created the brand itself, is we really made it a pantry staple from the farm. And like Annie talked about, when we started our company, we grow an array of different crops on the farm. And so, yes, we have pasta today, but hopefully in the future, we'll have a couple other farm products, which would be really fun and exciting. So we invite everyone to stay tuned.
All right. Excellent. Well, before I let you go, here, picking at random, Molly, give me the website address again, please.
It is 3farmdaughters.com.
Mm-hmm. 3farmdaughters.com. Yes, go on.
And then our social handles are just 3farmdaughters as well.
Oh, cool. Great. Well, we'll look for you there. Annie, Molly, and Grace from 3 Farm Daughters Pasta. You've got a wonderful product here. I'm so proud of the 3 of you. It's great to talk to you today. Thanks for being with me on Grow Getters.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Production support provided by Jack Heffron and Zach Zingula. Find Grow Getters on Farm Journal's YouTube channel and listen to it wherever you find your favorite podcasts. So for Farm Journal Studios, it's your pal, Davis Michaelsen. Thanks for watching Grow Getters, and hey, let's get out there and grow get 'em.
Grow Getters is a production of Farm Journal Studios, where no one grows alone.